Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. I was doing my weekly look through the Steam Workshop for Sea Power when I spotted this new edition, and what a beast it is, a mod by Maneuver Warfare. It's the Project 23560 Lidar class nuclear powered guided missile cruiser, and I just had to do something with it. A bit of history. In February 2019, a decision was made by the Russians to build the Lidar class. 2 vessels will be built by the end of the 2020s at a cost of 100 billion rubles per vessel. She weighed in at an estimated 19,000 tons, and like her big sister, the Kirov battlecruiser, she was nuclear powered. But the project was halted, suspended in April 2020 due to a lack of funding, as well as technical hurdles in integrating the new, at the time, S-500 missile defense system. Also a strategic shift in the Russian Navy. They were prioritizing other projects. The Russian Ministry of Defense currently favors building the Project 2235M, or the Super Gorshkov frigate, rather than the Lidar, making the Lidar very unlikely to be approved for construction in the near future. However, current status as of 2025, officially the project is considered to be under development but not actively being built. The future of the project is uncertain. My 2 cents, I doubt it'll ever be built. In my opinion, big nuclear-powered cruisers are a thing of the 1960s and 1970s. They have no place in modern combat, for many reasons, but one being simply that it's just too risky. Modern anti-ship weapons have become so powerful and unstoppable, either in the guise of stealth missiles from America or supersonic or hypersonic missiles from Russia and China. It's becoming too difficult to defend your ship, and the larger your ship is, the more of a loss it is if it goes down. And this thing is almost capital ship size. It's just too risky. But today we're going to do an alternate reality. We're going to say it did get approval and it did get built in the mid-2020s. So what are we going to do with it today? Well, first of all, I thought let's put it up against its contemporary, which would have been the Kirov battlecruiser, which of course still is in service. Then I thought there's not really much point. It was never really meant to replace the Kirov per se, but operate alongside her. Officially, the purpose of the Lidar was to replace the Sovremenny guided missile destroyer, which is Russia's front-line surface-to-surface combatant. You can see it in the middle here. Also their guided missile cruiser, the Slava, which is that guy there, and their Udaloy class destroyer, which was primarily anti-submarine here. So I figured let's take one Lidar and put it against all 3 of the ships it's meant to be replacing, and you can see the stark size of it here against a massive Slava cruiser. The first thing we say about the mod is that it's low fidelity, and you can see that obviously. That there is high fidelity, which you can tell by the detail. This is low fidelity, which means it's roughly the right shape, roughly the right looking 3D model, but for what we really care about is the weapon systems today, and they should be accurate. So she is armed with 24 9M 311Ks. These are short-range surface-to-air missiles and surface-to-surface, which are actually part of these little defensive systems there. The mainstay of the defence is the 48N6D series. This would be the missile from the FM-1, the modernised naval S-300 defence. It's also the same missile you'll see from an S-300 PMU-2 and the missile that you'll find in the S-400 land-based SAM system. It's the main missile of the S-400. Online it notes that this ship was supposed to get S-500 missiles, but we're going to assume that that route was scrapped and instead they favoured the S-400/S-300 FM-1. It has a range of 115 nautical miles. Medium range defence is the 9M96, a fairly modern Russian active radar homing missile. This missile's primary use is the ground-based S-350 sight, and it's also included in the S-400 sight as the medium-range missile in that sight. Next, surface-to-surface. In real life, this ship was supposed to be able to carry Onyx, as well as Caliber, as well as Zircon. We don't have Zircon here, so it's going to have Onyx and Caliber. 64 cells, I think it's these guys here. 32 P800 Onyx, 2.5 times the speed of sound, Very potent missile, we've used it several times to very good effect. And 32 caliber. I guess a bit like the American Tomahawk missile, subsonic, very long range, 600 nautical miles. We have some ASW stuff that's not going to be relevant today. A 130mm naval gun that looks very small on this ship. 30mm Sea Whiz times 6. Pair, and pair there. Noisemaker and chaff. And onto what she's fighting today, the very much aging Slava, Sovremenny and Udaloy. The Slava has, in a modern configuration, actually the same surface-to-air missiles, the 48 N6D from the S400 site. She also has 40 9M33M5, which are the modernised variant of the low-ranged Gecko system. Her primary offence is P1000 Vulcan, a modernisation of the P500 from the 1980s. With a very long range, they'll cruise high, then go down low to sea hugging and go about 2.5 times the speed of sound. Very dangerous missiles. She has USET, which is ASW, RBU, ASW, twin 130mm gun, 6 30mm Sea Whiz, Noisemaker and chaff. Onto the Sovremenny primary defence, 48 9M317. It's actually quite a modern missile from the SA-17 modernised Buk launcher, range about 25 miles. Although a modern missile, the ship is old and they're still being fired from the old ARM launchers. Her primary offence is a modernised variant of the musket. It's the P105, range 135 nautical miles. Speed, I can't actually work that out in my head. I think it's just under 3 times the speed of sound. It's the modernised Sunburn. ASW, 130mm naval gun times 4, 2 twins, 4 30mm Sea Whiz, Noisemaker and chaff. And finally, the very capable Udaloy class ASW destroyer. Primary defence, 64 9M331, Kinjal missiles, range 8 miles, a modernised variant of the Gauntlet. These guys here are interesting. They are anti-submarine missiles, but can also be used at a range of 130 miles for anti-surface. So we'll see them being used today. We have ASW, that's her primary fit, of course, as well as 100mm naval gun times 2, 4 30mm Sea Whiz, Noisemaker and chaff. I see no reason why we shouldn't do our normal battles, viewers. We'll start with Lyda versus these three at 50 miles. I don't see much point of going above 50 miles. We don't have any ballistic missiles to worry about. And what tends to happen at 50 miles is the same result you'd find at 100 miles or 500 miles or whatever. Then we'll go in within radar horizon and then we'll have a fun dogfight. So, first battle, 50 miles over the horizon but with initial fire solution, and go! Missiles already coming out from Lyda. This is P800 with his boost section on. Pretty well modelled. And now we have missiles coming out from the other guys. This is the Silex from the Udaloy. We can see the Mosky M's from the Sovremenny. Everything's going to happen very quickly. We can see the Slava, the slightly modernised Slava in the 1990s. Got the P1000 Vulcan. Wow, 50 miles does actually seem quite short when your missiles are travelling 2.5 times the speed of sound, or maybe not quite that much, but quite fast. Onyx tends to be very potent when we use it. P1000 I don't get to use very often, so we'll see how that goes. Silex will almost certainly not be very useful because it's mainly anti-submarine, and I've actually lost the Mosket M's in the ether somewhere. They've gone out of what we can see. In terms of rate of fire, well, as modelled, extremely high rate of fire. Yeah, this guy here is the anti-shipping VLS set, and this is the anti-air VLS set. Pretty much all red missiles now out of radar visibility. Okay, Mosket M's now being spotted coming over the horizon at, wow, 1,670 knots. Nearly 3 times the speed of sound. We're now firing. Leader is now firing everything. That's the 48N series. We're firing 9N96 as well, I'm not sure. Naval gun firing, kind of hard to know how to watch this now. In they go. Are they intercepting Mosky M? I've got to watch the Onyx as well. One's got through. Wow, that happens quick. How about that? Just shows. It's exactly what I was saying at the beginning. They're just so powerful. Modern supersonic missiles, even a ship like this is going to struggle. I mean, it's probably the best indicator at how likely a missile is going to get through to the hostile is the speed of it, even more than anything else. Whoops, Onyx now being fired at. Well, we've been hit, and P1000 still on its way, look. Probably quite a low chance of shooting it down. Quick look at P800 again. Oh yeah, absolutely destroyed the old Slava. These old ships never stood a chance, did they? So we're in a position here where the offense is much more powerful than the defense. Kind of the opposite to how an American ship tends to operate. Absolutely smashed to pieces. Well, we may simply see this in every battle we do today, that everyone's just got way too much power. We just saw a S350 there. Yeah, everyone's destroyed almost immediately. Intercepting Mark III missiles is just very, very difficult. I don't know what to say about that. The calibers, 32 calibers, are on their way, but never even got used. I would say probably only about 20 or 30% of the supersonic missiles were destroyed. Well, let's move it into within radar horizon and see what happens. And on to the within 20 mile within radar horizon battle. Everyone can see everyone, which is almost certainly going to go the same way as last time, but stand by. Off-girder missiles, Onyx straight up. Udaloy doing her thing. Sovremenny firing hers. This is a stupid fight. Everyone's just too powerful. All the Onyxes going out. Yeah, there's no surviving that. Can she survive? Can she survive? Missile missed. P800 or something. Can she survive? P800 doing less well this time. Designed to be used at long range, obviously being forced at low range now. As said, that guy's down. Sovremenny's down. Udaloy survived thus far. Maybe not. Wider. Hit. Possibly critically so. Alright, where do we stand? A staggering 2 minutes into the battle. Slava is completely destroyed. Sovremenny is completely destroyed. Udaloy is probably fully destroyed, and if she's not, she's about to be. Huh. Look at that. I was not expecting that. A, she launched anti-submarine torpedoes, which is weird. And B, she sunk. She took hits from something. I didn't see what it is, but something of some capacities got through and hit a magazine. So, okay. Interesting. And dare I say, I think the Reds have won. Let me speed that forward. No, everyone's dead. I told you, everyone's dead. Ah, silly. Right, let's move in even closer. Well, as if what we've seen today hasn't been stupid enough, let's do a 1 mile broadside, because why not? It's what we do. She's getting absolutely smashed by so many 30mm Seawiz, so many 130mm naval guns. Look at that Slava absolutely pouring it out. Look at that. Wow. Absolutely creamed. Slava not even hit. Oh, I hate it how they do this. They turn so their guns can't fire. It's because we're abusing sea power. That's the only reason for it. He doesn't understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to use it in a World War I fashion, pre-World War I fashion, galleon fashion. It's going to sink, obviously. It's been destroyed. Haha, look what it's fired. Oh, they're anti-surface torpedoes. That's how bloody hilarious. Okay, depth charges, not depth charges, mortars from the RBUs, wherever they are, on there somewhere. Why not? Why not, viewers? We don't get to do a lot of ASW stuff, viewers. It's we've even got professional ASW go on our staff, but it's hard to get views, and you need views to survive. So it's a me problem, but it's kind of your fault. So, never mind. It is what it is. You hear those are the splashes from the mortars. Oh, look at the guy getting smashed. He's still not sunk, although he looks very much sunk. He looks very much sunk. Yep, he's down. But no kills. Can he get some kills? Can he get some kills? Yes, he can! Torps smashing it in there. 67 knots? No, they can't go 67 knots. There's no torpedo that goes 67 knots and guides. That's silly. Wow. If there is, then that's a serious, serious problem. It was a bit weird, but I believe a red vessel survived, so red just about by the skin of their teeth win. Alright, what did we learn from that, viewers? Well, to be honest, it's kind of what I said at the beginning. A really horrendously expensive, hard to maintain, just expensive in every way vessel. As good as it is, it's still very vulnerable to older, weaker vessels. And it got destroyed every time. Although, every time it looks like it looks like this guy's going to sink. Maybe it's going to be a draw, let's see. He's going under, isn't he? Are you going under? It's like a dog dragging his ass. I can't believe he's not going to sink. Where is your buoyancy coming from? No, it's not sinking. He survived! Look at that! Ah, you're so funny! Alright, yeah, so beaten by these older vessels, which even today can be potent in terms of offense, just not great defense, as we found out when the real Slava cruiser was destroyed. You know what I'm thinking, viewers? I'm thinking we should put it up against a Kirov then. Come on then, let's quickly put it up against a Kirov. So, this time we have Peter the Great from 1998 modernizations. She has 48 of the same missiles, the S-400 48N6 missiles. She has loads of low-range defensive missiles. The Grecian, she has the modernized Buk missiles. More defensive missiles there. Offense is P700-2, a modernization of the P700, even faster, even longer range, even better jamming resistance. Nothing else to say. Go. Starting at 50 miles. Is she going to fire? Yes, she is. Whoosh. P700-2. This guy's going to fire all of her missiles. Leader, whatever. It's carrying lots more anti-ship missiles, obviously. Damn, this looks impressive. P702 space. Bunch of missiles fired here. They've gone silly because they were fired at targets that don't exist anymore. Wherever those lead P700s. Interestingly, they're at 2,000 feet. Presumably they will go lower. Haven't used these for a while. P800. Halfway across the battlefield. All sorts of missiles out from the Peter the Great. She fired all 20 of her P700s. That's going to be dangerous. We have Lyda now sending out a bit of everything. She sent out all 32 calibers, all 32 Onyxes. I don't know what these guys are doing. Something. Where did the P700s go? We've lost sight of them because they're beyond the horizon. Here they come, look. No, maybe not. Yes, there they are. No, lost them again. There they are. Here they come. So they've organised themselves into hunter-killer groups, as you can see. And that is going to be absolutely... Look at that. P702, yep. Coming over the horizon. Now where's the P800? Everything being fired at them. They're going to get through, aren't they? They're clearly going to get through. Yep, got through. And these guys... Absolute chaos. These guys be stopped. Yes, they can. Wow. Okay. I didn't expect that, question mark. Peter the Great is definitely dead. I take that right back. I take that right back. Mutual destruction again. It's the same result, viewers. Everyone, all these ships, just too powerful in offense, not powerful enough in defense. And there you go. Everyone just blows everyone up. I'm not really sure what we learned of that, apart from I was kind of right that they are still very vulnerable, especially against their own kind. and whichever way you play it, everyone is just going to kill everyone, whether it's a battlecruiser versus a cruiser, whether it's a cruiser versus an old cruiser and 2 destroyers. I hope that was interesting anyway, and bye bye.